Have you ever looked in the mirror after a haircut and thought, why do I look older? Not ugly. Not bad. Just a little more tired than you expected. And the confusing part is this. The haircut might actually be trendy. It might look great on someone else. But on you, it somehow pulls your face down instead of lifting it up. Today on Timeless Wisdom Path, we're doing something that instantly clicks for people. A clear comparison of hairstyles that quietly add years versus hairstyles that bring back that fresh, bright, well-rested look. And I want you to listen closely because this isn't about rules or shame. It's about understanding the small details that change everything. Where the volume sits, how the ends fall, how your hair frames your features, and why some cuts make the face look longer, heavier, or flatter. By the end, you'll know exactly why certain styles never feel quite right on you, and what to ask for instead, so you walk out of the salon looking lifted, modern, and naturally younger. The first aging trap, most people don't notice. Heavy lines that drag the face down. A lot of people think an anti-aging haircut means going shorter. But that's not the real secret. The real secret is what your haircut does to the direction of the face. Does it lift the eye upward? Or pull everything downward? Let's start with one of the most common issues. The one-length cut. You know the one. Hair that falls in a straight, even curtain with a strong line at the bottom. On paper it sounds neat, polished and healthy. And yes, on certain hair types and face shapes it can look chic. But here's what happens for many women as they get a little older. That strong blunt edge can create visual heaviness right at the jaw or below it. And when weight gathers there, the face can look longer, lower, and more tired. Now compare that to a cut with soft layers and movement. Not choppy in a wild way, just enough layering to break up the weight, and let the hair float slightly instead of hanging like a solid block. Movement is youth's best friend because it mimics energy. Even before someone notices your face, they feel the lightness of the silhouette. Here's another version of the same trap. Very long hair with no shape. Many of us keep length because it feels feminine or safe, especially if we've had a bad short haircut in the past. But if the length is thin on the ends, or if it hangs without structure, it can read as pulled down. It's not that long hair is aging, it's that lifeless length can be aging. So what's the do here? Ask yourself one question. Where is the volume living? If your hair is flat at the crown and heavy at the bottom, that shape creates a droop effect. But if your hair has a little lift near the crown and soft framing around the face, it creates an upward pull, even without makeup. Another big detail is the front. Hair that sits too far forward and hides the face, especially if it's straight and heavy, can shadow the eyes. And shadows around the eyes are one of the fastest ways a hairstyle can make you look more tired than you actually are. In contrast, gentle face framing pieces that open the cheekbones and lightly sweep away from the face can brighten you in seconds. Think of it like this. A youthful haircut is not a young person haircut. It's a haircut that helps light reach your face and helps your features look awake. The best anti-aging styles don't scream for attention. They quietly remove heaviness, add air, and guide the eye upward. And if you've ever said, I don't know why haircuts never suit me, it's often because you were choosing styles based on what looked nice in a picture, instead of what creates lift and balance in real life, on your real face. Bangs, parts, and forehead choices. The small decisions that change your whole age impression. Now let's talk about something that causes massive reactions in the comments. Bangs. Because bangs can be magical, and bangs can also be the reason someone says, why do I look strict? Or, why do I look like I'm trying too hard? The first mistake is thinking bangs are either yes or no. The truth is, the type of fringe matters more than the idea of fringe. Heavy, straight across bangs that create a thick wall on the forehead can sometimes feel harsh. They can shorten the face in an unnatural way, and if they sit too low, they can crowd the eyes. When bangs dominate the face, they don't soften. It can actually make expression lines look more noticeable, because the eye has fewer places to travel. Everything feels concentrated. Now compare that with softer fringe options. Wispy bangs, curtain bangs, or side-swept bangs that blend into face framing layers. These styles don't cut the face in half. They blend with it. They bring attention to the eyes and cheekbones while still keeping the forehead area gentle and forgiving. The effect is often immediate. You look lighter, friendlier, and somehow more rested. But there's another detail people forget. The part. A severe middle part can look stunning, but it can also be unforgiving when hair is fine or thinning near the top. For many women, a strict center part emphasizes flatness at the crown and can highlight facial asymmetry in a way that feels aging, not because asymmetry is bad, but because harsh lines make everything look more exposed. A slightly off-center part, on the other hand, can do a subtle magic trick. It creates lift at the root, adds a bit of softness, and helps hair fall in a more flattering way around the eyes. It also gives the face a gentle diagonal line, which often reads as more youthful than a strong vertical split. Now let's bring in another sneaky aging factor, the helmet shape. That's when hair has volume on the sides but no lift on top, like the hair is expanding outward instead of upward. This can happen with certain blowouts, older style sets, or overly rounded bobs that puff out at cheek level. The face ends up looking wider in the middle and heavier overall. The more youthful alternative is a shape that holds a little height at the crown and stays sleeker through the widest part of the face. This doesn't mean flat. It means controlled. Volume in the right place makes your cheekbones look higher, and your jawline look cleaner. Volume in the wrong place makes the face look heavier. And let's not ignore texture. Extremely sleek, pin-straight hair with no bend can sometimes look severe, especially if it's paired with a blunt cut. Sleek hair isn't the enemy, lifeless hair is. Even a tiny soft wave or a bend at the ends creates dimension, and dimension is what makes hair look modern and alive. If you want a simple do to remember, aim for softness around the face, lift near the crown, and movement through the lengths. Those three things work together like good lighting in a photo. They don't change who you are, they reveal you in a kinder way. And once you notice it, you can't unsee it. You'll start spotting why certain celebrities always look fresh. It's rarely extreme changes. It's small, consistent choices that keep the face open, lifted, and bright. Color, contrast, and shine. When hair dye makes you look older, and how to fix it. Let's move into the next big aha area, color. Because people often assume the most youthful choice is to cover every gray hair and go back to the darkest shade they ever had. And sometimes that works. But for many people, it creates the exact opposite effect. Here's why. As we age, the skin naturally changes, often becoming a bit softer in contrast, sometimes a little less even in tone, and usually less oily than it used to be. When hair color becomes very dark and very solid, especially jet black or a deep single-tone brown, it can create a harsh frame around the face. That strong contrast can emphasize under-eye shadows, fine lines, and redness, not because your face is worse, but because the hair is acting like a sharp outline. Now compare that to color with dimension. Highlights, lowlights, soft balayage, or even a gentle gloss that adds reflective shine can instantly make the face look brighter. Dimension mimics what youthful hair does naturally. It catches light in different places. And when your hair catches light, your face appears more awake. Another aging trap is overly warm, brassy tones, especially if they turn orange or yellow over time. Brassiness can make the skin look dull, and it can bring out unwanted warmth in the complexion. The fix isn't always go cooler, because very ashy color can also drain warmth from the face and make you look washed out. The goal is balance. Choose a tone that makes your whites of the eyes look clearer and your skin look more even. Then there's the issue of flat, over-processed color. Hair that looks dry, matte, or crispy instantly reads as older because it signals damage. Healthy, younger-looking hair isn't always thick or perfect, but it usually has softness and shine. Shine is one of the fastest anti-aging tools because it reflects light upward toward your face. So instead of asking, what color hides my age? A better question is, what color makes my skin look fresh? Sometimes that means going a shade lighter around the face. Sometimes it means blending gray instead of aggressively covering it. Gray blending can be incredibly youthful because it removes that harsh grow outline that forces constant maintenance. And when maintenance is stressful, it shows in how you carry yourself. Now let's talk about the money pieces around the face, because people either love them or fear them. When done subtly, brighter pieces near the front act like a soft ring light. They lift the face visually. But when they're too chunky, too bright, or too high contrast, they can look dated and draw attention away from your eyes and toward the color itself. The most timeless approach is gentle brightness that looks like it belongs to you. Think sun-kissed, not striped. Think dimension, not lines. Even if you prefer darker hair overall, adding a little softness around the face, just a shade or two, can make a dramatic difference. And finally, don't underestimate a clear or tinted gloss. A gloss doesn't just add shine, it helps the hair look healthier and smoother, which reads as youthful instantly. If you do nothing else, do something that restores light reflection. Because in real life, youth isn't only about how dark your hair is. It's about how alive it looks when it moves. Styling details that lift instantly, volume placement, ends, and the fresh face finish. Now we're going to bring everything together with styling, because even the best haircut and color can look aging if the daily styling pulls the face down. Let's start with volume, because volume is misunderstood. People hear volume and imagine big hair. But anti-aging volume isn't about size, it's about placement. When the crown is flat, the face often looks longer and heavier, almost like gravity is winning. But when there's a gentle lift at the crown, the entire face looks subtly lifted too. It's not dramatic. It's just enough to shift the balance. Here's the don't. Teasing only the sides, or adding width at cheek level. That can make the face look broader in the middle, and can create that older set shape that many people are trying to move away from. The do. Create soft root lift on top, then keep the sides more controlled so the face looks sculpted, not overwhelmed. Next, let's talk about the ends of the hair. Ends matter more than people realize. If the ends flip sharply inward and create a hard line under the jaw, it can make the jaw area look heavier. If the ends are extremely straight and stiff, it can create a severe frame. But when the ends are slightly softened, either with a bend, a light wave, or a smooth blowout with movement, the whole look becomes more modern and forgiving. One of the most youth-friendly tricks is outward movement around the face. Not a big flip, but a gentle sweep away from the cheeks, almost like the hair is opening up your features. When hair moves away from the face, it reveals the eyes and cheekbones. When hair collapses into the face, it can make you look like you're hiding, even when you're not. Now let's address the classic, the tight, slicked back style. This can be gorgeous for certain occasions, but as an everyday look, it can emphasize every line and create a pulled appearance that doesn't always feel soft. The younger-looking alternative is a relaxed version. A low pony or bun with a bit of softness at the hairline, maybe a few face-framing pieces, and a gentle lift at the crown. The goal is polish without harshness. Also, don't underestimate the power of your hairline area. If your style exposes thinning at the temples or lays hair too tightly across the front, it can age you because it highlights what you're trying not to spotlight. A side-swept front, a soft fringe, or a few strategic pieces can create the illusion of fullness without looking like you're covering anything. Then there's texture. Overly stiff hairspray or crunchy curls can look dated fast. But soft texture, hair that moves when you move, reads as youthful and current. If your hair is naturally straight, you can still create softness with a slight bend through the mid-lengths. If it's wavy, define it lightly and keep it touchable. If it's curly, focus on hydration and shape so curls look springy instead of dry. And here's a detail people love because it's simple, the fresh face finish. That means you leave the face area clean and bright. You avoid styles that cast shadows over the eyes. You choose a shape that creates lift rather than droop. You create shine, because shine reflects light, and light is youth's best friend. If you've been blaming your face when you feel you look older, I want you to pause. Sometimes it's not your face at all. Sometimes it's the haircut line, the color contrast, the volume sitting in the wrong place, the ends dragging down. And the moment you adjust those details, people start saying things like, "Did you lose weight?" Or "You look so refreshed," when really you just gave your face a better frame. Final thoughts. If there's one thing to remember, it's this. The most flattering, anti-aging hairstyles don't try to make you look like someone else. They simply lift your natural features, brighten your face, and bring back the movement that makes you look alive. Try looking at your hair this week with fresh eyes. Notice where the weight sits. Notice whether your hair opens your face or hides it. And the next time you're in the salon chair, don't just ask for a cute cut. Ask for lift, softness, and movement in the right places. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path.